So I was sitting here tonight thinking about money, some of the ideas and the concepts that we have been fed about money throughout our lives. And an overwhelming statement popped up into my head. You don't need money. Money needs you. And it got me to thinking about how abundant we are, and even in this very moment, whether we believe it or not. And that we carry within ourselves this energy that's so magnetic that money cannot help but be drawn to us if we are allowing that flow. And if we get out of the mindset of being a desperate seeker of money or a desperate seeker of wealth, then you are able to become a vessel through which currency actually flows. I have a deep belief and understanding that money is waiting for us to activate it, guide it, and circulate it, and it's not the other way around. So if we understand that we are not here to chase money, we are instead here to allow it, then we can align with it. And remembering that money is energy, and that energy responds to the state of your being. And when you embody abundance, money recognizes you and it wants to flow to you. It wants to flow through you. We grew up in a world where people teach us to chase money as if it's always somewhere outside of us, like it's something that's dangling outside of our reach. We might hear messages like we need to work harder, we need to do more, we need to hold tighter, we need to pray for it, we need to beg for it. Like these are some of the messages we may have been brought up in. But these beliefs create fear and scarcity that convinces us that money is something that we have to grasp at desperately before it slips away. This causes us to overspend the minute we get some money. We think, oh, I may not have money again to do this. But if we can think about in all of our lives, money has always come. Month after month, week after week, day after day, money shows up. Knowing that you are the source and not the seeker, money does not give you value anymore. You give money value when it exists in your space. Because without you, money is just a piece of paper, just a plastic card, just a digital code on the screen. But with you, it becomes a home where you nourish your family. It becomes a meal that sustains your body. It becomes an opportunity, a work of art, a new beginning. Money needs you because you are the one who brings meaning to its movement. Without you, money has no meaning. So when you stop chasing and you no longer run after money as though it is your master, you realize that you are the master and that money is your servant. And you call it in, you direct it, you command it with clarity and intention. Abundance is a state of being. It's not really about how many dollars you hold in your hand or have in your bank account. Abundance is how you see yourself in the world. It's the lens through which you recognize the infinite resources that are already available to you. You are abundant because you have talents, ideas, skills, and a unique presence that no one else can replicate. Those are currencies all in their own. When you share them, they multiply. When you give your gifts out to the world, when you create wealth that cannot be measured by a dollar sign, when you live in abundance, you no longer operate from a fear-based mentality when it comes to money. So you no longer ask yourself things like, what if I run out of money? What if this doesn't work out? What if everything falls apart? What if the money never shows up? But even when you have moments like that, you instead affirm to yourself that there's always more where that came from, and that money responds to your mindset. And as long as you keep your mindset in an abundance mindset and a gratitude mindset, the money is always coming. It's always going to show up. It gravitates toward you because you are open to the flow and you're not closed off by fear related to money. When you see money for what it truly is, energy, you kind of visualize it like it's a river, like it's meant to move. It's not meant to be stagnant. What makes a river so powerful is that it never hoards the water because it circulates and it flows. Think about a river that is backed up where the water cannot flow. It causes major damage. It floods everything around it. It causes major sewage issues. It causes issues on highways and roadways because everything is stagnant. and the river is not allowed to flow. Currency is the same way. The flowing current nourishes everything in its path when it's flowing properly. It also creates life, and it also shapes the land. Money works the same way as a flowing river does. It's not nearly as powerful when it's stagnated in fear. It's only powerful in a beautiful way when it is flowing. When you allow money to flow into your life and through your life, it'll nourish you and it'll nourish everyone around you. It becomes a force for creation and not a source of depletion and anxiety. When you don't cling, and when you don't hoard, and when you don't panic when money moves out of your hands, you are telling the universe, you're telling the creator, you're telling source energy that you know it's always coming back. So you get into that flow. You are in that frequency to create more money and abundance in your life. When you trust the circulation the same way that you trust that a river will keep on flowing, you're trusting that the universal laws are at play, and all you have to do is align. When you become great at circulating money, you understand that every time you use it, you set it in motion to do work for you and to do work for others and to do work for the world. So circulating money is not a careless thing to do. People might say, oh, you're spending too much here, you're investing too much there, you're giving too much here. Circulating money is an intentional process. When you give, you do it with joy. You are not afraid of what leaves your hand and thinking, oh, I lost money. You know that it's simply returning to you in a larger current of abundance. And in time, it will come back multiplied. Even when you pay taxes, even when you pay fees, even when you pay penalties or you pay bills, you do all of that with the mindset that it will come back to you multiplied 10 times over. So when you invest your money, you do so responsibly. You place your money where it can grow and expand and generate more opportunities for you. You treat investing as if it's planting seeds that you trust in due season will grow. What you sow will return as a harvest. The same way the farmer plants the seeds, that's the same way money shows up in your life. When you plant it in the right places, it comes back to you multiplied tenfold. Circulating money is a gift that you have to give to the world. It shows that you are not just a receiver of money, that you are a channel for money. When you let money flow in, you learn to let it flow out with purpose. You keep money alive when you let it flow through your life. You keep it moving. And because you do, money always continues to find a way back to you. Whenever I let go and give and trust, it always comes back tenfold. Remember that when you give, you are never losing anything. Giving is an affirmation. Giving is affirming. You're declaring that you have more than enough to share. I'm so thankful for what I have and that I have more than enough to give. That declaration itself is super powerful. It shifts your energy instantly from scarcity to abundant. Where you approach a situation and you think, I'm losing something because I'm giving something to this. When you approach it that I'm investing and I'm enjoying giving to this thing or giving to this person, it completely shifts you from a person that is in dire need to a person that has more than enough to give. From scarcity to abundance instantly. So ultimately, giving is showing your trust in action. When you show trust, you're trusting that more will come. You're trusting that you are supported. And you're also trusting the flow of abundance is endless. And it is. The flow of abundance has been here before you were here, and it'll be here after you're gone. So giving is your trust in action. When you trust more will come, you feel good when you give. You feel the joy of knowing that your resources are helping to uplift somebody else. It's helping to give them what they need. And then you feel the freedom of knowing you're not enslaved by money, that you're not going to change your life drastically. You're not going to hold yourself up. You're not going to stop living because money looks a certain way. You remember that you are a steward for money and that ultimately you're not here to hoard it. Money moves because you tell it where to go. Every act of giving strengthens your relationship with abundance. So every gift you offer returns to you in unexpected ways, sometimes directly and sometimes indirectly. But it's always multiplied and it's always coming back. And think about investing like this. Think about investing as being in alignment. When you invest responsibly, it's showing that you honor money. So even though you are in charge of it, you still handle it with the proper care, with the right mindset and the right mentality. You have to respect money and its power. At the same time, you know that you are in charge of the way that it circulates through your life. You have to know that where you place your money is where you're placing your energy. So when we give our money to stagnant things, or like what I call dead places, dead spaces, that money is not going to grow and multiply. But when we put it in places where we know the energy is flowing, where we know we're planting a seed of expansion and growth and abundance, that's where our energy is going. So through giving money and investing money and circulating money, you begin to release fear around money because you understand that fear is blocking your flow. Fear will tell you things like, hold on tighter, and there'll never be enough. What if I don't have enough next month? And what if I give to this person and they don't pay me back? Fear makes money stagnant. So instead, you live in trust. You affirm that money is energy and energy is infinite. You let go of your old stories that told you money was so scarce that you had to struggle for it and that you had to prove yourself to be worthy for it. You're worthy, and you understand this, simply because you exist. You are abundant simply because you are alive. You welcome it into your life and you receive it with gratitude. Ultimately, gratitude is what keeps the flow alive in your life. Every time you give thanks for what you have, you create space for more. Gratitude is like a signal to the universe that says you are aware of your abundance, and your awareness attracts expansion. When we're not grateful, it's like you're saying, I'm aware of my scarcity, and my scarcity attracts more scarcity. When you give thanks for money that you spend, it nourishes you and others. Even when you're at the register, you tell yourself a small thank you. Thank you that I have this money to spend. You give thanks for the money that's still on its way to you because you trust that more is coming. And truly, gratitude turns money from a source of stress into a source of joy. You no longer fear it or resent it or chase it. You celebrate it and appreciate it because you are now a circulator of it. And truly seeing yourself as a vessel for currency is how you bring abundance into your life. You're here to let money flow through you to create beauty and opportunities and growth. Money recognizes that you are a safe channel. It begins to trust you and it flows to you because it knows you will move it wisely. It flows through you because you don't cling to it, you allow it to be. Money is an affirmation. You are a steward of abundance. Money flows to you with ease and money flows through you with purpose. When you give freely and you invest wisely, you are ultimately affirming that you are here to circulate wealth with joy, that you are not bound to money, that money is instead bound to you. And as you live in this truth, you see wealth as not something that you have to chase, but something that you attract. You are not empty, you are always full. You are not lacking, you are always overflowing. You don't need money, money needs you. And so it is.